Hey guys, what's happening? Welcome back to the Turbo John YouTube channel. So we're out here, we're at the house today. So we are going to work on the race car a little bit. We went to Kinston last night, had a blast, had a ball, but this thing was kicking my butt spooling up. So we had a couple odds and end things we wanted to do. I don't know if it's mostly tune related or not. Change the spark plugs, adjust the valves, just go over everything. Probably need to change the oil in the car. Definitely got to change the transmission fluid. That got beat up pretty rough last night, so we're going to do all that stuff. So I got a little bit of odds and end maintenance we're going to do today. I may end up possibly advancing the camshaft. I mean, these things always get a little laggier in the summertime, but we may advance the camshaft 2 degrees, and then that'll give it a little bit more bottoming and give it a little bit more cranking compression, and then possibly that'll make it a little bit better spooling up. So we'll see. I don't know, Matt. I mean, it could be. Justin brought up a good point. I do it. I preach to everybody. I'm always on them about changing spark plugs, pulling plugs. And he asked me last night, he's like, well, when's the last time you changed the plugs? And I was like, dude, it's been a while. So I was going to do it the race before last, but I didn't. So let's pull the plugs out of it, see what the plugs look like. And, you know, maybe it's something as simple as the plugs are fouled out. So let's see. Let's check it out. All right, y'all make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, and go hit that join button if you want to join our weekly live chats. That's a blast. We have a good time doing that. And also, we got some new t-shirts coming out. So go to turbojohnracing.com and you can see those shirts. We're working in tight quarters inside the trailer here. And you see I don't have much room, and I'm a bigger guy, so it's a little tight getting in and out of here. But we got the plugs pulled out of this thing, and they're a little beat up. You can see they definitely have been used and abused. They have not been changed in a while. All of them look like this for the most part. I don't see any that are obvious, you know, fouled out, drenched with oil, which that's a good thing. So that's not bad. Something that happens though, these are cold plugs. So these plugs are, let's see if I can get a good picture of one. This one right here. This is a very, very, very cold plug. So it's a number 10. So one thing you got to look at, see way down there in the bottom where it does look like it's a little darker down there. And it's got some fuel build up in it. Probably some little bit of oil in there. Is the spark generally jumps this gap, and you see we gap these things really small. I mean, that's like a 20 thousandths gap, so it's not much gap. But what will end up happening when the spark is trying to come through the middle, it comes through the tip here, it travels through and it's insulated through this porcelain. It travels up through the porcelain, and then boom, it jumps the gap, and that's what causes the ignition. Occasionally what will happen is when this thing gets fouled out, it gets a lot of fuel down and oil down in that porcelain part down there. And so basically what happens is the spark never jumps the gap because it's already grounded, so there is no ground. Right there very possibly, you know, could be fouled enough to where you're going to get limited ignition. Here's my little radiator that we're going to stick back on it. The other 4 plugs looked about the same, so I mean they're not bad. We did go through the valves. Valves are not bad, they're in good shape. I had a couple that were a little, you know, a few thousandths off, but nothing that was real obvious, you know, super off. So that's good. So valve covers are back on there, so that's good. New plugs are in it. This is the radiator. I'm going to put this thing back on it. This is a little motorcycle radiator, and I had a leak in it, and that's the reason I took it off. And so I JB welded it up. I'm going to get me another one, get a bigger one. But that thing fits perfect over there. It doesn't do real good as far as actually, you know, keeping it cool like a car. But I only got, you know, water running the heads of this thing right now. So it comes out the front, going through my Holley fuel pump over there. It was clogged up, so I got that thing unclogged. So it is working. That thing is not real happy with fuel being in it. But we are about to go ahead and crank this thing up. I'm going to get it out of the trailer, and then I'm going to go ahead and drain the engine oil out of it, change the engine oil, and then change the transmission fluid as well. So that's going to be our project for today. Working on the race car trailer. Trailers doesn't really need a lot. I'm going to work on the brakes on it and make sure that's working good. But tomorrow, Saturday, Thunder Valley Dragway, we'll probably get there. It'll probably, I think they said they're going to do drivers meeting about 6:15. So we're going to try to get there about that time, 6 o'clock or so. And we'll probably end up just going off the trailer. We may make a suspension change. The car looked like it was trying to work. It's trying to separate. You know, generally the slicks don't want that separation. But I'll show you what we got under the back of the car. The reason it makes it hard for this car to squat. I think I've showed y'all before, but I'll show you again. So in the video I posted yesterday, I showed y'all my anti-squat. The anti-squat's about 120%. But here's my issue. I've got literally like 2 inches of travel between my anti-roll bar and my upper control arm. So I can, the problem is a slick generally likes for the car to squat, and they generally work better squatting. And so my problem, if I move that upper control arm, if I move it up one hole, then I get the anti-squat where I want it, and this thing squats. But occasionally it hits. If it drops down too much, it hits. And so, you know, that's a big problem. That's a issue. So that really upsets the car when that happens. So I don't know. I mean, I could raise the car up just a tad more. You know, I got plenty of room over here on the coilovers. So I could raise the car up just a tad more and go up a hole to get some anti-squat out of it. And I think I'm going to do that just because, I mean, you know, this thing, looking at the video from last night, when you slow the video down, it really is separating pretty violently initially. And, you know, and it's just going to, it's going to be a problem for the tire, you know, making it so. Some people are making it do that, but I think overall that's going to be a bad idea. So the goal, what I need to do is just move that anti-roll bar. And when I move the anti-roll bar, move it down to the rear end, then I can set the ride height here and it'll be fine. But right now, I mean, that's just going to take a little bit of effort to do that. And so I don't have the time to do it. So right now, I think what I'm going to do is, if I decide to, it'll probably be a last minute change. I think I'm going to, though. Go ahead and jack it up. Yeah, I am. I'm going to move that upper control arm up one hole, and we'll do the math on it. I'll show you what the math comes out to be. It'll be like 70 or 80%, and the car will just set down. And probably what I need to do is put something on top of this, you know, something somewhere so that I can actually see if it's hitting, and then, you know, just play with the ride height and just keep jacking it up in the back. But I think that's what we're going to do. We're probably going to do that. Okay, so it appears that the plugs was my spooling issue. So it spools right up just like normal. I am probably going to go ahead and get the dump valve on the transmission anyway. I mean, it come up, it got to the limiter. I'll show you the data log. It got to the limiter in like 2 seconds. Okay, so check this out. This is our data log from Kinston the other night. Look at the timestamp down there. It took it 4.5 seconds to get to the two-step. And this right here is just like 36, 37, 800 RPM, and it just stumbling like crazy. So it's super, super, super lazy. And then that's on the two-step itself. The new plugs, 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds max. And it plowed through, you know, the converter here. So you can see, I mean, this thing, it's amazing plugs make that much of a difference. And that's 100% what it was. Total time on the trans brake was 5 seconds. Amazing. Change your plugs. So that is a ton better than last night. Last night it was like 5 or 6 seconds. So we did smoke the transmission fluid. So I'm gonna go ahead and jack it up, change the motor oil out of it, and go ahead and dump the 4 quarts of transmission fluid and change the transmission fluid as well. And I may end up cycling the transmission and go ahead and trying to get all 8 quarts out and do it all, because I mean, it's not burnt terrible, but it definitely is not the best. So I think I'm gonna hold off on doing the cam right now. And you see, that's the good thing about having the belt, is it's super easy. All you gotta do is those 4 bolts right there is loosen them up and then turn it, and you can see it's pretty much, it's almost all the way maxed out now. Center line's like 112 right now, so I could go down to 110, but it's almost maxed out on my adjusters there. So I've got probably 2 more on it. I don't think it's all the way as much as it would go, but I think I'm gonna just hold off on doing that now. And I got my pump working. So this is an old Holly fuel pump, so I got it unstuck. That is actually what I'm using to circulate the water through the heads. but it comes basically out the thermostat housing here and goes through the water pump, fuel pump, and then goes back into the back of the intake there. And I used to have a little teeny radiator here, and it come loose and it ruptured. So I don't have that anymore. So I did also, you know, I'm gonna try to probably fatten the tune up just a little bit while it's idling to try to get the alcohol to try to cool it down some. But it still does have water in the heads, and it is gonna circulate still, but you know, it's not gonna get cooled. So I'm gonna get me another radiator. John Doc's got a small one of those little Honda ones. It's not going to fit up here, so I'm going to have to find a place for it. It looks like I got plenty of room over here now that the downpipe's moved, so it'll probably go over here in this little hole, and then I'll just move all that over there. I might go ahead and upgrade the size of the lines. At some point here, I might put water back in the block too. You know, alcohol does a good job trying to keep the temperatures down, but it's not going to keep the block as cool as water does. And, you know, it's been running for a little while. I can put my hand on it, but it's warm. I mean, you know, it's 140, 150 degrees there. And then after a pass, last night it got really hot at the end of the pass. So, or when I got back to the pits anyway, when I turned the computer on, I think that's what it was. It was over 200 degrees, but it was hot. So, so that's all I got left today, and I'll be ready for tomorrow. All right, guys, y'all comment, like, and subscribe. If y'all are close to Thunder Valley, it should be a good race. It's in Red Springs. It's right off I-95, so it's a good time. It's going to be fun. Y'all comment, like, and subscribe. Go to turbojohnracing.com. We're taking pre-orders for our new t-shirt. It's got the picture of the car on the back. It's really cool. It looks really nice. They've done a good job with the logo. But it's probably, they're going to get printed hopefully in the next couple weeks. But you can pre-order them now. All right, guys. See y'all soon.